Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back once more. Well, the Raiders are still diligently hunting for a famed item, and no luck yet. So today I thought we'd start off by taking a quick detour into the Tomb of the First Men. Now, classically I've tried to avoid undead strongholds, but we picked up a new secret weapon last time and I didn't even get a chance to use it. So I figured that fighting a bunch of zombies would be a good chance to finally showcase it. Now, let's see here. This looks like a pretty standard setup. We've got a good chunk of armored Wiedergangers. We've got at least a couple of Geists. And there's apt to be either a Necromancer or a few Nachzirer near the back somewhere. So let's go ahead and have our archers hold off for the moment. And let these guys get a little closer. Here come the unarmored Nachzirer first, of course. Though, at least a few of them don't even have weapons, so they're pretty much a non-threat, just easy XP, shambling around on two undead legs. And there was a time where I'd be excited by that green and yellow striped kettle helm, but at this point we've outgrown them. So, let's just start mowing these guys down, and then once they get closer, we'll break out the new secret weapon. Nice, we've got two of them down already. And it doesn't look like there's a Necromancer, and I'm certainly not seeing any Nachzirer, so I'm guessing this is just 15 or 16 Wiedergangers in total, and then 2 or 3 Geists hiding near the back. But, as experience has shown us, we won't have to actually worry about the Geists until turn 3. And we have contact. Let's go ahead and start things off heavy. It's hammer time. Yeah, I'm not seeing any gear here that's really worth salvaging, so we're just going to shred these guys as appropriate. I'm just waiting to see where those Geists go before I commit myself. Ah, here they come. Normally they would have waited till turn 3. I'm a little surprised they moved up sooner, but nicely done, Vlad. But I'm not too worried about it. That Geist has left itself completely exposed, so I should be able to rush up with one of our frontliners and take it out. I'll probably leave that to Chiron or Rondis, depending on which one goes first. And it looks like it's going to be Chiron. Ooh, but no hit. So let's bring Rondis up there as well, see if he can finish it off with his dagger. No luck there either. That's unfortunate. Well, nothing we can do about it now, so let's move up. And here we are into round 3. Four Geists in total. Chiron's a little demoralized, but we've got Henry right behind him, so... And now the archers can keep firing into their ranks, just softening up Wiedergangers. There we go, there's a kill from Potato. Move Vlad up and start cutting into these things. These armored Wiedergangers are definitely pretty durable. And Mark Richards. He always seems to be the last archer to go. I'm going to have to shore up his initiative. Alright, Chiron. Let's give this another shot. In fact, 3 attacks with a dagger's a better idea. There we go. 1 down. And move him up. Actually, 3 enemies. Well, if anyone's going to survive facing 3 enemies at once, it'll be Chiron. Now we'll bring Rondis up to engage the Geist as well. And there we go. 1 less Geist to worry about. And now, let's break out the Greatsword. Not an instant kill, which would have been nice, but still, that's all of his armor and half his health in 1 swing. Now, the downside, of course, is that as long as he's wielding that Greatsword, Rondis doesn't have the defensive benefits of his Kite Shield, which makes him a lot more vulnerable. He has decent defensive scores, but that doesn't really mean anything once he starts getting surrounded like this. And of course, I still have to worry about these Geists up here, too. So, Goon needs to tear through these things. There we go. 1 kill, 1 knockback, 2 kills. Now that's more what I'm expecting from a great weapon. Alright, Geists, do your worst. Their worst wasn't actually that bad. Alright, we'll just keep picking on the Wiedergangers, clear a path to the Geists. And no one is in immediate peril of breaking. Chiron and Vlad are pretty close, but I think they'll last another turn. Now, Chiron and Rondis are pretty much single-handedly holding the southern line, so hopefully they're not in over their heads. There's Oswald providing some nice support. Roderick fells another Wiederganger. Rondis' armor, he's got the toughest armor in the group, but his armor is starting to take a beating there. So, as soon as he goes, hopefully he can clear a couple of these Wiedergangers off the field. Uh-oh. Well, it looks like Vlad didn't hold out quite as long as I hoped he would. Since he's a pikeman, I haven't bothered shoring up his morale at all. But next turn, we'll just move Henry in his direction. Alright, Rondis. There we go. 1 down. 2 down. Very nice. And there's Goon clearing the path. In fact, let's just... I'm tempted to move him up to engage these 2 Geists. But those things can ignore armor with their attacks, so... let's just engage 1 at a time. And we'll move Henry into a better position for next turn, and move on to round 5. Here come the Wiederganger reinforcements. Okay, some more demoralization, but no complete breaking yet. Let's get our front line cleared if we can. Oh, in fact, let's see if we can free up Vlad. There we go. Very nice, bunny. I would have liked to use Rally, but with a zombie on him, I guess he has other priorities, especially now that Vlad's freed up. And there we go. I got handily clears the rest of our front line, so now people can start moving up to take out those Geists, and to free up Rondis before he gets too overwhelmed. Roderick takes... oh, Roderick unfortunately is out of stamina for the moment. We have to take these Geists out, because the longer they're on the field, the more dangerous they become. Uh-oh. Rondis is actually exhausted now, so let's swap him back to the shield and use Recover. That will drastically reduce his fatigue, so it'll be ready next turn. Man, no one can hit these ghosts. I keep forgetting to load Alessandro onto our team when we go up against groups like this. Alright, well, we're definitely not going to lose, but the faster we can drop these things, the less armor repairs we'll have to worry about. Alright, Vlad and Roderick are broken, so we definitely need to get some support to the north side. Let's see what Bunny can do. One down. Okay, Bunny manages to efficiently clear both of the Wiedergangers off of Vlad. And Potato can move up, and that will give him an open shot at this Wiederganger. And Henry, I think it may be time to break out the rally. Vlad's still broken, he was too far away, but Roderick's back in it. And at this point, we've almost cleared all the Wiedergangers off the field, but I want to leave a couple more for Rondis. Oh, well, I guess that's that then. Alright, just finish these guys off the old-fashioned way. Now, can someone please fell one of these guys? There we go. Unfortunately, Roderick's tied down by this other Wiederganger, so... And there goes Vlad. Everyone's too exhausted for end-of-round maneuvering, so let's just get into round 7. Looks like Bunny's morale just broke. But Fox manages to fell that last Wiederganger on our archer row. More fatigue. There we go. I got clears the last of the Geists off the field. At this point, it's a cakewalk. Just one more Wiederganger. Now let's see if Oswald can... Oh, never mind. Not with that much fatigue, he can't. So, Rondis, solid hit, but no kill. But you do have just enough for a dagger strike. And Chiron is worn out. Okay, someone just needs to gently tap this Wiederganger so that we can all go home. Okay, round 8. We've got to take this thing down. And there we go. Let's see here. We've got Potato up a level, we've got I got up a level, and it looks like Mark is MVP with 5 kills. All in all, it wasn't a bad field test for the Great Sword, and no loot to speak of, a couple hundred gold worth. It wasn't a great field test for the Great Sword, but at least it gave you a taste of the general carnage it can inflict as long as you're actually hitting. And welcome back. Unfortunately, I scouted the entire countryside down here, and I did not find any more brigand strongholds. That's not to say there aren't any strongholds, it's just that all the strongholds I'm discovering are goblin or orc strongholds. There could still be famed items in them, but it's not what we're looking for, so unfortunately I think it may be time to just go ahead and take on some old-fashioned contract work. We really need to just start shoring up our gold reserves again, and we can start buying armor and weaponry to upgrade our troops with. Count Holsten von Rabenholt kicks his feet up on his table. Any opinions on Greenskin's sellsword? You shake your head no. The man tilts his head. Interesting. Most say they're afraid, or that they're nasty brutes who can cleave a man in two. But you're different. I like it. What say you go east of Gronenfest to a place the locals have dubbed Jagged Fang's Hideout? We've sighted a large band of orcs there that need scattering. And he is offering 620 crowns in advance with 2,500 when it's done. That seems fair. So, alright. Now, that is actually the last stronghold I stumbled across on my way over here to Weedmark. I guess it's fate. As much as I hate to take on orcs, we need to pay the bills, so let's get over here and see what we're looking at. Some orc young, some orc warriors. Well, that could be good or bad depending on how many warriors it is, but generally speaking, some equates to about 4 to 6. So this could be roughly 8 to 12 orcs in total. We're going to move into a bit of a more defensive formation for an orc battle, so we're going to shuffle our great weapon wielders in a little, and we're going to swap everyone back over to spears so we can set up a spear wall, and now we'll wait till morning so that our archers will be in optimal fighting conditions. Make sure everyone's properly set. Goon almost forgot his shield. And let's get in there. Fingers crossed. Hopefully we can actually get through a big orc battle without any casualties. That's more orcs than I had been hoping for. 11. I guess that's still within the range I had predicted, but it's at the upper range. Nice. Off to a good start with Potato felling our first orc young. At first glance, this isn't nearly as bad as I thought it was. I'm actually only seeing 3 orc warriors in their lineup. That's still 3 more orc warriors than I want to deal with, but... Ooh, there's a nice arrow through the neck for that orc young. And 3 orc warriors is manageable, theoretically. And at least we've got the advantage of some nice elevated terrain here. So that makes a good place to hold the orcs off from. I just need to make sure I don't leave any blatant gaps in our spear wall. Now, Chiron, of course, is the unlucky one. He ended up in the worst starting spot, so we'll need to move him up a little. And Rondus' spot isn't bad, but I think we're going to move him up to that even higher elevated terrain there. That will give him a big tactical advantage once the orcs do engage, but more importantly, it will prevent the orcs from taking that elevated spot next to Chiron. And here come the scary guys. Oh shoot, I was actually wrong. There's 4 orc warriors, not 3. That's slightly worse than what I had initially anticipated. Alright, I think we're in just about as good a starting position as we're going to ever be. So let's keep chipping away at them with our archers and wait for their first contact with our battle line. And no open shots here for Bunny. I guess she'll start trying to whittle away at the orc warriors. That'll be a little less work our guys on the north side will have to do. And we've got first contact. Hopefully Rondus will be able to dispatch that orc young in fairly short order. Ooh, there we go. Mark fells another orc young. That's 2 down. And Henry is too vulnerable, so we'll hold him back for the moment. As much as I'm tempted to move Casimir up, he needs to stay there to protect the archers. We can't have a giant gap in the middle of our line. Now let's go ahead and switch Rondis off to the Greatsword. And not off to a good start. Unfortunately, his attack was deflected by that Orc's wicker shield. We'll prep our north line for the Orc warriors. The longer we can hold them off, the better. That'll give us time to clear things a bit on the south side. Hopefully. We're facing a lot more Orcs on the south side than we are on the north side, unfortunately. As always, they've made a beeline for this elevated terrain. This is not an ideal setup. Alright, we'll bring Casimir up a little bit. That way he's still warding them off, but he's a little closer to the action. Alright, moving into round 3. Let's see what happens. We've got some javelins, no problem. Woe is too far back to engage. We need to get Henry into a better position, but I don't want to leave him exposed. Okay, there we go. A couple of solid arrow hits. And Bunny fells another Orc young. That's 3 kills so far. Chiron is still keeping them out of his engagement zone. And Potato will continue trying to soften up the approaching Orc warrior. Now Rondis, take 2. This is actually a good opportunity to use an area attack. It's just a matter of choosing which one. No kills, but he did slice open that Orc young's neck. But now I think it's time to quick swap him back to his kite shield before they can attack him back. Alright, now we need to engage these guys. I think it's time to just go ahead and move up and start wailing on them. If we can finish these guys off even remotely... Oh, okay. Well, no hits, and he knocked Roderick out of the way. Okay, we can't have Casimir sit back anymore. Let's start bringing him around to support Rondis. And we're fully engaged on the north side now. Oof, and there goes most of Rondis' shield in one swing. Yeah, I've got a bad feeling about this fight. We're not taking these guys out nearly as fast as I would have liked, and I just realized I forgot to bring Chiron's dagger. Alright, Woe. You are in trouble here. But there's not a whole lot I can do about this, unfortunately. There we go. Okay, we've got another Orc young down. And it's time to bring the hammer out. Nice, there's a fractured skull. The big advantage of the hammer is that it inflicts double damage against armor, so it's ideal for fighting foes like these Orc warriors. The great swords, decent for armor, but just not as good. But in both cases, you want to make sure your warriors are properly supported before they start mixing it up with someone really dangerous. Let's keep focusing on the closer Orc warrior. The one on lower elevation can wait. And archers, just keep on whittling. Another minor incremental hit to his armor, but that's a little less armor that our warriors will have to deal with. I really need to look into upgrading our archers up to warbows as well. There aren't many foes who carry those, so generally you're going to end up having to go and purchase them from stores for 3,000 or 4,000 gold a pop. So that's just another reason to focus on doing more contracts now. Nice. We're starting to chip away at that Orc Warrior's morale now. Another shield hit. And now Rondus is engaged with 2 Orc Warriors, unfortunately. Chiron will need to keep focusing on the easier target, the guy down here on lower elevation. And there goes Roderick's shield. Alright, Roderick is in a bad spot now. Oh, okay. Looks like one of those Orc Warriors just shield smashed Rondus to a lower elevation. That's good and bad. I mean, it basically puts him out of the fight, but it also takes him out of the danger zone, so we'll start shuffling him backwards, but we're going to be looking for a good spot to redeploy him so he can keep contributing to the fight. So much armor. Alright, well, just, nice. Okay, that's one less Orc Young. We've killed almost half of them now, and we're actually making some pretty solid progress on that Orc Warrior's armor there. So let's just keep hitting him. Nice. Alright, his armor's completely gone now. Every hit will be health damage. Ooh, and whoa, just took off that Orc Warrior's helmet. Our north side's actually doing pretty well now. It's the south side that I'm becoming increasingly worried about. And we'll go for some armor-piercing hits, I think. Ooh, now Chiron's shield is taking a beating. Nice, we finally managed to break this orc in the front. I'm starting to get the impression that our best bet with these Orc Warriors is to go for their morale. Wounding hits, ally kills. Yeah, see, there we go. We've got another one on the ropes now. Breaking the morale seems to be the most efficient way to clear them off the battlefield. Wailing on their armor works eventually, but it becomes a grueling war of attrition as you try to hammer your way through their plate. And I'm just not sure that our boys can survive that sort of engagement on a regular basis. Let's go ahead and get Rondus back in there. A good solid blow with his Rondel dagger. And there they go. Goon fells our first Orc Warrior with a swing of his great hammer. And moving into round 6. Let's see if we can fell some more of these guys before they get to go. There's a solid blow doled out by Baggins. Woe is bleeding out, but he still is contributing up on the north side. We'll need to start maneuvering our archers so they can fire through ranks where possible. But some of them might need to be shuffled around a good bit. Alright, Bunny's got an open shot, so let's see if we still can't clear that Orc Young off the field. Casimir doesn't have enough stamina left for another armor-piercing strike, so let's just get him back to a spear. And Goon. Nice. There's another shattered helmet and fractured skull. And Mark. Mark finally manages to knock the last of the Orc Young off the battlefield. And Roderick is still fighting strong despite the loss of his shield. Bring Reinhardt in to flank with him, though he's too exhausted to do much. Oof, okay, there goes Rondus's armor. He's in bad shape now. He's going to need to bring his shield back up next turn. But unfortunately, he's too exhausted to do much, so he'll just use his turn to recover and hope for the best. We're definitely getting pretty beaten down here. No one's taken any serious injuries yet. But we do have one or two brothers who are on death's doorstep, and I just noticed that we've got an archer who's been engaged on our south side. That is definitely bad news. An orc warrior can kill an archer in a single swing. Okay. We need to prioritize this guy on potato, because otherwise he's going to mash potato. So let's keep firing on him. And more. Alright, potato, you're going to need to swap out to your long axe. And Casimir, can you shield bash this guy? No. Now you're too exhausted to try it again. Alright, Rondus, well, you go for him then. 2 shield blocks. And 1 decent hit through his armor. At this point, I think we'll leave Roderick and Goon up here to try to finish... Oh, there we go, nice. This orc was so overwhelmed that Roderick's mere arrival broke him, so that means we can focus everybody else on the orcs on the south side. Reinhardt can start coming around, but it's going to take him at least 2 or 3 turns to get down there. I guess Chiron will start whittling at this guy's armor. Oh, okay. I have mixed feelings about that. On the one hand, it actually puts Rondus out of the danger zone, but on the other hand, he can't really contribute from down there. But I guess in the grand scheme of things, I'd rather have him safe, so yeah, that's fine. Okay, moving into round 8. Things are looking good. Nice. Things are looking good, but we've got multiple brothers in dangerous positions. We've got an orc warrior on elevated, threatening Baggins. We've got another orc warrior threatening Potato, and we don't have nearly enough frontliners engaged on them yet. And unfortunately, while Rondus is safe down in that pit, the very tip-top of his helmet's horns are apparently interfering with our archer's aim. So we're going to need to re-maneuver our archers again before they can continue contributing. And Potato just doesn't have enough practice with that long axe to get past an orc warrior's bulwark. Alright, Casimir. There's a helmet hit and you're exhausted. Roderick's going to start coming down, but I'm hesitant to engage him since he lost his shield, and he's already a bit beat up. Chiron will start focusing on this orc on higher terrain, I think. But we'll swap him off to his flail for the bonus against shields. And Reinhardt gets a little closer, but it's still going to be another full turn before he gets there. And Rondus will stay in his pit. Unfortunately, while it may be a little cowardly, he needs to keep his head down. He's out of armor and down to half health. Now Baggins is going to switch off to his shield. I keep forgetting I've got him kitted with a dagger and shield for situations like this. Alright, I'm not sure anyone else can do anything this turn, so let's just get into round 9. We've only got 2 orc warriors left on the field, but that's still quite a lot to handle. There we go. A couple of decent wounds on that orc warrior. His morale is starting to slowly fade. Woe sneaks a shot in on the other Orc warrior. Fox capitalizes on the opening, sneaks another arrow through the Orc's defenses. Actually, Rondus can reach this Orc warrior with his dagger, so let's go ahead and do that. And there we go. Well, even on the brink of death, Rondus continues to contribute, breaking the morale of the Orc warrior, who's still threatening Potato. Now, if we could just break the morale on this other Orc warrior, we would be golden. But as long as he's on the field, we could still lose a brother. And Reinhard finally engages. Manages to get in an armor hit. Chiron knocks off some more armor, but then loses his shield. That's no good. Our archers are becoming too exhausted to contribute. Alright, that orc is trying to flee. We're keeping him pinned down, but his armor's still holding out. And Roderick, you've done your part. Just hang back, man. No real strategy here. Just keep piling on the orcs. Ah, there we go. Okay. One Orc warrior left, and he's almost broken, so if we can just sneak a couple more shots through his armor, we should have him on the run as well. Bring Faceless in, and there we go. Being flanked by two great-helmed warriors, I guess, was just too much for him. In fact, let's just pin him in and start attacking him from all sides. But he's still got a lot of armor to get through, and most of our boys are exhausted, so let's fast forward a little bit. Oh, and there we go. Goon just smashed off the Orc's helmet, fractured his skull, and Baggins. Sergeant Baggins slips his dagger between the Orc's armor plates and fells him. Now that was a physically and mentally exhausting battle. Though we were fortunate to come through it with no serious injuries. We've got a four-way tie for MVP. Rondus is up a level, Casimir's up a level, Reinhard's up a level. No significant loot to speak of, just a few hundred gold worth of furs and orc weaponry. So, let's go ahead and load up with this junk and take it back to town. The Orc camp is a wasteland filled with all manner of depravity. You can smell their sex and waste. It's no wonder they're so warlike, for they know not even the beginnings of what a civilized man understands. Time to collect our pay. Alright, well, we've run well over our usual time allotment with that grueling battle, so I'm just going to get back to Weedmark and pick up our pay. And once I've taken care of the bookkeeping, I'll start shopping around for a new contract, and we'll pick up there next time. Hey, RetconRaider here. No matter how many times we go up against orcs, I never quite get used to it. I enjoy playing Battle Brothers, but I think those monsters stress me out more than anything else in the game. At least we managed to put down this band of greenskins without suffering any more casualties, so that's something. But I'm definitely not eager to go up against another pack of orc warriors anytime soon. Now, as much as I'd like to keep hunting for a famed item, at this point we just can't afford to keep wandering the countryside at random. The raiders are in dire need of better equipment and more men since the endgame crisis is looming. In fact, since we're ending this episode with Day 59, that means that in the next episode, we'll finally be getting our first sign of just what crisis we're going up against. Let's just hope it's not more orcs. But you know what they say. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. This is RetconRaider, signing off. Thanks for watching. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Battle Brothers, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, or the FanRun Wiki. Links are in the description.